it's me for our monthly Aha Moments Live, otherwise known as You Don't Know What You Don't Know. Now, if you're just new to me and you've never seen me before, I want to welcome you and say that we do these every month. The first Sunday of every month, I come on live and I share with you something that you may not know that you don't know, but when you do know, your life is so much better. And we've covered all sorts of things, everything from dog toys to things to start a business. And I try and bring you something that either I'm going through or something that I've gone through that has made my life better, that I've learned so much about. So if you come on, please say hello. I would love to see you. And I know it takes people a little bit, it's a little bit bright right there. Hang on, let's see if I can come down here and make it a little bit not so overexposed so you can actually see. So I just wanted to let you know that today's topic is a little bit different. I thought long and hard about what the heck I should share with you this month, and I thought maybe I would share what I'm going through currently. So maybe this relates to you, maybe you know someone that can benefit from this information. By all means, let them know about this group, let them know about the video, share the information with them if it's something that pertains to somebody else. But what I wanted to let you know is for the last, 4 months, I have been going through physical therapy for my shoulder. Back in January, I think it was, I started feeling some resistance when I was working out in my right shoulder. And my trainer was having me do all the shoulder exercises, like putting your hand up a wall. I can't really go any higher than this, but put your hand up a wall, do circles and stuff like that. And I could do them, but it was just sore and it wasn't comfortable. It finally, after a long time, got to the point where I couldn't even put my hand behind my back. I couldn't undo my bra. And it was at that point that I realized no stretching, no break from working out was going to really help that shoulder. So I reached out to my doctor and she told me to get my fanny in and get some physical therapy. And there's a couple of things that I've learned going to physical therapy that I think could really benefit a lot of you. First of all, it's not frozen shoulder. I have had frozen shoulder years ago. It took me an entire year of physical therapy to get mobility back in. And but it was the same shoulder. It is not frozen shoulder this time. They thought that it was rotator cuff. And it still might be, but the pain seems to be moving. It would move into my my pec and then into my trapezius muscle, and then it was in my neck. And what we've determined now, if my mom is on here, she's gonna be like, I tried to help you, but a lot of this seems to be due to posture. So today's conversation is going to be all around posture. Now, I do have some friends, Sam being one of them, that has great posture. My daughter, who was a dancer, amazing posture. Me, not so much. I'll be honest, I developed really quick, really young, and so as a result, I was more like this to try and hide and be like everybody else my age. And no matter how much my mom would hit me on the back, it was something that became so ingrained that I didn't sit up straight. I didn't stand up straight. I didn't walk straight. I was constantly round-shouldered. And I knew this, and through the years, I have tried all sorts of things. So if you suffer from posture issues, let me know if you've tried any of these kinds of things. They have I call them bras, but they're not really bras. It looks like a crazy 8, and you put, your arm in each side, and it's supposed to pull your shoulders back. Have any of you tried those? I've tried that. it digs into your skin right here and doesn't feel very comfortable. Your muscles have a tendency to almost spasm. And so I ripped that thing off. I couldn't wear it for more than an hour or two without it rubbing really bad on my skin as I moved about. Let's see, what else did I try? I contacted my doctor and I said, can you please put me in a back brace? Because then my muscles will get used to being in that position. And when I take the brace off and they come out of that position, it'll be unfamiliar and it will make me realize that I am, breaking the correct posture and allow me to get back in. Because if you suffer from posture issues, you don't even realize that you're doing them. You don't realize that you're round-shouldered. And so, of course, he said, no, I'm not going to do that for you. There's better ways to do that. And I was like, well, great. Now what am I going to do? And this time last year, I hired a trainer in order to strengthen my back muscles, in order to be able to pull my shoulders back. Unfortunately, I ended up with a shoulder issue that progressed and I stopped working out with him. But I am now going to physical therapy, and it seems like a lot of my shoulder issues are stemming from or initiated from my poor posture. There's also a thought that I may have a pinched nerve in my neck. And I have done a bunch of rounds of traction. If you've never done traction, it sounds really scary. Like before I knew what it was, I was like, ooh, that's like when you get into a huge skiing accident or, in a bad car accident and they have to put you in this contraption. Well, the thing that I do that she says is traction isn't like that at all. I put my head in this thing and they put a Velcro strip across my forehead to keep it in place, and it gently pulls it away from my vertebrae, just pulls it up, and as I'm laying down, and what it does is it creates that space in between your vertebrae. And that relieves the pressure or the pinching down on the nerve, which was sending incredible amounts of pain down my arm. And it has made a world of difference. Some other things that I have learned through this physical therapy and the traction and learning how to do things a little better. Oh, when I was in college, you guys, I took, that white medical tape, the really, really sticky stuff? I took it and I had somebody make an X from my shoulder down to my side on each side to pull. I would pull my shoulders back and then they would tape it because I felt like that way it would pull my shoulders back and I would be forced to stand like this, and I could train my muscles to do it. Well, what happened was my muscles in my back actually spasmed so bad and I was in so much pain that I had to have someone rip the tape off like 5 hours later. So I don't advise you to do that. So what do I advise? I do advise doing exercises that strengthen your back and also ones that lengthen or stretch out your pecs. Because what happens is when you stand or sit so often like this, these muscles become tighter and smaller and your back muscles stretch out. So you got to reverse that and you got to make the back muscles stronger and stretch out the pec muscles. I want to talk a little bit about the hazards or the bad part, because many of us think that a bad posture is just a bad posture. Oh, it sucks. It doesn't look so great. Some people actually degrade and they get so bad that they get like a hunchback almost happening. But there are a lot more side effects from poor posture, and I couldn't believe it. I started doing some research just so I could share them with you today, and I wanted to share some of them. Harvard Health said that I cannot believe this because I don't experience this from having poor posture. So if you have poor posture and you experience this, let me know. But Harvard Health said that you can suffer from indigestion, you can suffer from heartburn, you can incontinence and constipation. No, those are not things that I suffer from, I will be honest. But I can understand why. And it's because when you sit like this for so long, you're crunching all your organs in ways that they shouldn't be crunched. And so there were some more. Let's see some of the other ones. Obviously pain, long-term pain, digestive tract. This was something that was interesting. They actually said that it can worsen depression and stress. And that there's been studies shown that the poor posture can actually worsen this. Not really sure how that works, but that is what it says. It also said that it can lead to circulatory issues and actually lead to cardiovascular problems. Because you're so crunched over in a way that your blood and your oxygen and your lungs are not working as good as they can, and that leads to so many other medical issues. And as you know, if you followed some of my other videos, I am determined to live to be over 100 years old, and I want to be someone that's 100 and vibrant and can walk and move and think and do all those things. I don't want to have digestive issues or heart issues or constipation or incontinence or any of these other issues that poor posture is actually notated that it can lead to. So let's talk about some solutions, okay? Enough about the problems. Enough about the fact that it doesn't look good. Enough about the fact that it causes incredible amounts of pain, and it can be constant pain. Like in my case, it's constant pain. It's throbbing. The traction for my neck has really helped, and the exercises they are doing for my back have really helped. But other things that I am doing that might help you or someone you know with their posture is I have gotten like an elevated desk. And I'm not talking about the actual tables that elevate. I'm talking about the contraptions that go on top of a desk that you can pull up and down. And I get it to the right height. Now, you want your monitor to be where you are directly at eye level, that you're not looking up and you're not looking down, but your chin and everything is absolutely on level. So if you can't see it, have somebody look at you from the side and make sure that your monitor is in a position that you are looking directly into it, not slightly up or slightly down. Got it? The other thing is, and you don't need an elevated desk to do that. You can put it on books. You can get those stands, computer stands, or something along those lines. The other thing that's really important is how you sit. Many of us sit in chairs. For over 15 years, I've used a chair that I use in my dining room that has no arms, and it's one of those ones that have like a sway back like this. And because my legs are short, I have a long torso and short legs, if I sit all the way back against the back, my feet don't physically touch the ground. So as a result, I sit on the very edge. And when you sit on the very edge, there's more of a tendency to kind of like sit like that. And so what have I done? This week, I have finally pulled the trigger, and I have purchased a ergonomic, is that how you say it? Chair that is going to help. It's going to give me the support in my lower back. It's going to give me the support in my head so that I can, make sure that my head is totally straight. Because a lot of times with poor posture, our heads come forward, and that is what really causes a lot of problems on our necks. So making sure your neck and your head are straight is really important, and this chair has a headrest that you can put up against your head so that you know that your neck is straight. So that is going to drastically help with my posture. The other thing that I didn't realize is your keyboard and your mouse. You want to make sure that your keyboard and your mouse are 90 degrees to you. So here, if you're if you're sitting at your desk, hang on, put you up a little bit. So if you're sitting, got up too fast. If you're sitting at your desk and your back is straight, you want to make sure that your arm is at directly 90 degrees. A lot of times we either do one of these where we have our arms down here and our keyboards up here, or our keyboards are down here, but you want to make sure that your shoulders are down and that your arm is at 90 degrees. You also don't want your arms out too far or in. You want them to just be normal. And this chair has arms in it that you can move in and out depending on where your arms rest comfortably. If your arms rest comfortably here, or maybe you're a little broader than I am and your arms are a little bit, further out than my shoulder expanse, then you can move the arm, the arm rest on the chair out, in or out, in order to get your arms at the right space. You can also raise the chair up and down in order to get it at the right space. But for those of you who have short legs like me, if you need to raise the chair up in order to get your arms in the right position for the keyboard and your mouse, you may be at the point where you can no longer touch the ground. So my daughter got this, I call it like a little hump, and you put your feet on the hump. Oh my gosh, you guys, it is a game changer. I tried it out. She bought this chair and the little hump thing, and I went to visit her and I tried it out. I was like, oh my gosh, you wouldn't think that just putting your feet just a little bit higher would relieve all the pressure in your hips, in your lower back. It was unbelievable. So I have gone ahead and I have gotten this little ergonomic hump. Now, if you want the one that I got, I will post above when I get off, or below if this is on YouTube, in the description, where the link for the chair that I bought and the hump. The hump I got off of Amazon. The chair I actually got off of a site that she sent me to. And it is on wheels. I am probably going to take the wheels off due to the fact that it's on wood and I don't want it to wreck my wood. But I need to figure out what I'm going to do with that wheel situation. But I will show you when I get it. And if you're interested, I will leave the link. The other thing, let's see, what else do you need to know about your chair? So you know that your arm is at 90 degrees and your legs should, be at, 90 degrees. Sometimes it's nice to have your knees a little bit higher than your hips. For me, I like my knees just slightly lower than my hips because it relieves a lot of pressure on my back, to have my tushy a little bit higher than my knees. So you can do that with this chair too. You can tilt the cushion of the chair, whether you want it up a little bit, totally flat, or angling down, which is really nice as well. I'm really excited to get this chair, you guys. I know, crazy how a chair can make you so incredibly excited. But I really believe that it's going to help. Now, the reason why I also got a desk, an elevated desk, is so that I can work standing. And that is one of the things that you might want to consider as well, is to get something that allows you to stand for at least part of the day. The plastic mat under the chair. Yes, I've thought about that too. The problem with those is that they move, and then on the wood floor, it still wrecks the floor. We did that in our last house, and it still wrecked the floor. But yeah, that is good. That is an option. If you can get it to sit still and not move around. Maybe if we had one of those foam pads that you put under carpet that you then put the plastic thing on, it would actually stay in place. Maybe I'll try that. That's a good idea. Thanks. Where was I? Standing. Another thing that you want to consider is not to sit or stand or be in one position too long. Because when I was asking the physical therapist, should I get, they have those not, I know you can do like the exercise balls and sit on the exercise ball, but there's also those ones where you're kind of like resting on your knees and you have no back. And she said, anything where you're in one position for a long period of time is not good. So moving around, like sitting for a little bit and then standing for a little bit and sitting or moving around is going to be better than sitting for like 8 hours at a stretch. And I am very guilty of this. I will be, focused and determined to get like a video edited or some writing done, and I'm really on a roll, and all of a sudden hours will have gone by and I will be at the same position at the same desk. So at least this allows me to, stand and sit. Linda gave me a great app, a reminder. Every hour I can put a reminder that makes a noise. You can determine the noise. Mine is a little kid laughing because I thought that would be not as obnoxious as wah, 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 or something weird like ding, 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 something that wasn't too annoying. But every hour it goes off, and when it goes off, it's a cue for me to check myself. Check and make sure that I'm standing up straight. Now, speaking of that, I used to try really hard to like shove my shoulders back, walk around like this. And that's, what did they call that? I think it's like the military stance, when they put their chest out and their shoulders back. That is actually not the best way to stand either. You want to stand where your back is straight, not super extended this way or this way. And a great way to do that is something that I think Maureen isn't on here right now, but Maureen actually, I think, showed this to me. She actually told me to stand as if someone has a string to your head and is pulling your head up by the string. But what I figured out, one better than that, I was like, because the string, you can be like this, like this a little bit. What I do, and this totally puts your whole body in alignment if you do it this way. Pretend that you're taking your head and you're pushing it up on the ceiling. Like you're gonna pop a balloon. So you're not gonna pop a balloon like this or like this. You're gonna pop a balloon on the very top of your head. And if you go to push your head up on the top, it automatically pulls your shoulders down, it pulls your head in alignment, and it pulls your back totally straight. And the big challenge is just to remember to stay in that position. And that is why I have that reminder. Every hour, you can do it for every 15 minutes if you want. That would be a little annoying. But every 30 minutes if you wanted to do it then. And have it go off so that if you all of a sudden find yourself like this, that you can make that correction and put yourself back in a good posture. Or change what you're doing, whether you're sitting, now stand, or whether you're standing, now sit, and change your posture so that you're making sure that it's in alignment, and so that you don't have problems down the line. You don't end up with pinched nerves. You don't end up with digestive problems. You don't end up with heart problems or things, at least not due to your posture. I was shocked, you guys. I'll be honest. I was totally and completely shocked at how much your posture can affect your health. And as we get older, these habits that we've developed over so many years can really start to have an impact. Hi, Duncan. You want to say hi? You want to say hi? I think he's coming down to say hey to everybody. Your posture can have an impact on your health. So better to get control of it now so that as we age, we can age in a way that we're not going to have these health issues, at least not that are contributed to our posture. So that's it for me. I just wanted to share with you the things that I've learned about posture, the ways you should be at your desk, and some tips and tools that I use now or that I've started to implement to try and help remind myself to stay in the correct posture so that I can train those muscles in order to stay in that position. And yes, I am doing back exercises. I am laying on a foam roller. Here's a good one for you. I lay on a foam roller and then I just put my arms out. I let out like this so you're a little bit elevated off the ground, and I just let the pec stretch. It's a great pec stretch. You can also do this by going like this and going in a door frame and putting it back that way. And then there's all sorts of ones for your back. You can do rows like this. You can either with a band or with a weight or with no weight to pull those shoulders back. And one they're having me do now is they have weights in my hand and I pull my shoulders up, around, and then down and hold for 3. And then come back to normal. And then up, around, and down. So you're hyperextending and then you come back to neutral. And that is supposed to also help. For me, I feel like it makes my neck go like this, but they assure me that it is actually not doing that. So there are a couple of exercises that I'm doing to try and strengthen the back and stretch out the pecs, and make sure that I'm seated correctly and standing correctly. And that little trick, whether you're seated or whether you're standing or whether you're walking, to try and put your head up on the clouds or up on the ceiling, really pulls everything into alignment and make sure that you are, sitting with good posture or standing or walking with good posture. So if you have another way to help people remember to stand up straight, or another way to strengthen your muscles, or maybe you know of something that I don't know that works to help people with their posture, please post it below. The best way to learn is to sharing with others and learn from other people. So share your knowledge and let me know if there's other things out there that I haven't thought of or haven't seen. And I would love to investigate things further. Anything that's going to help remind me and help my muscles remember to be in the right position instead of the wrong is gonna be awesome. All right, you guys, that's it. Have a wonderful Sunday. I'll talk to you later. See ya.